In this episode of the Funeral Report, social media personality Tikiana among mourners at the funeral for her boyfriend who was shot dead while walking to pay her a pre-dawn home visit in Linstead, St. Catherine. He's laid to rest in his paternal family's community of Browns Hall, also in St. Catherine.
I'm glad that I met him and I know him.
Police officers displayed high level of professionalism as they watched the funeral proceedings closely. Weeks before the burial, a former senior cop and aspiring MP visited the bereaved common law wife and made this appeal.
Work closely with your police and make sure that our communities are safer.
And an emotional scene near the family plot. This as a senior citizen who was unable to attend the church service ended up weeping after requesting to see the body while the procession was passing her gate.
We are going on a big tree thump here now.
Take time. While stating that his son was not a criminal, the father of the slain youth had these final words before the casket was placed inside the grave.
Rest in peace, my baby. Dust to dust, earth to ashes.
The bereaved mother at one point had to be restrained at the graveside, but she eventually got busy assisting the masons sealing the grave. Stay with us for details of this, the Funeral Report, right here on the Jamaica Beacon, the trendsetter in funeral reporting. Speaking with the Beacon days before the burial of his slain son, Byfield Thomas broke down in tears. He never envisioned burying 20-year-old Khalib Thomas, who was a baby when he took him from his mother's Kingston-based home to raise. On the day of the funeral, Sunday, July 6, 2025, the father spent much of his time sitting in the church, pensive, his face sometimes buried in his lap and in his palms. Gunmen shot and killed Khalif a few hours before dawn on Sunday, April 27, 2025, at Banbury District in Linstead, St. Catherine. The youngster, who lived with his father in another section of Linstead, was walking in the dead of night to visit the rented house occupied by his girlfriend, Shanake Hansen, who is well known on social media as Tikiana. The two had been together for a few months. The girlfriend had been using her social media pages to call for justice, her demands and analyses often wrapped up in hard-hitting tones. Now inside the sanctuary on the funeral day, her tone was more refined and her posture more relaxed. Her face lit up as she stood at the lectern to tell the congregation why Khalib was, according to her, the best man she ever had.
In terms of respect, values, ambition, he was everything. Basically, if he says, I'm going here, that's where he's going. If he says, I'm going to be back by that time, that's what he's going to do.
Another of the traits that the bereaved girlfriend admired is Khalif's industriousness, always willing to buy and sell fruits or to do construction work. She added that Khalif had an endearing personality and he loved to smile.
Even when he came to the community where I was living, so many elderly knows him. They knows his father, they knows his name. And every one of them, all the elderly can say, oh, he's the little young guy that helped me to do this or helped me to do that. He was so manageable and so respectful and helpful. He was a person or a friend that you could count on.
The common law wife further stated that her son, Amir Blake, is among persons who developed a strong bond with his late stepdad. Her son shown there reading a poem at the funeral service, which was held inside the Seventh-day Church of God at Ginger Peace District, St. Catherine. According to family friend Grace Davis, who did the eulogy, Khalif, who has 4 brothers and a sister, was born at Browns Hall District to parents Nicole Edwards and Byfield Thomas on June 22, 2004. He attended Malcolm's Prep School and Browns Hall Primary, where he spent 4 years. He then relocated to Kingston to live with his father, and there he attended Harborview Primary School, where he sat the grade 6 achievement test and was placed at Clancarthy High. His father again relocated, this time from Kingston to Linstead in St. Catherine. Khalif went with him and became enrolled at Yorton High School, but he stopped attending school during the COVID-19 pandemic and never returned.
After the pandemic, his father encouraged him to continue his education. He expressed a desire to start buying and selling fruits. His father did not support his idea, however, his mind was already made up. Khalif would traverse from Linstead to Portmore on a daily basis to provide fresh fruits to his many customers.
Khalif's death was a shocker for many people back in Browns Hall, where his paternal family is from and where he spent a portion of his childhood. Among those taken aback by the tragedy is Lulina Malcolm Brown, who has been a teacher for some 50 years. Days before the funeral, she, in an interview with the Beacon, shared some memories of her former student.
And everybody around in the community, even people, if we are up here playing, you're the calling, children calling, and the children calling to those people passing out on the road. Very nice, mannerable, willing, helpful, loving, caring.
Similar sentiments were expressed by educator Jermaine Edwards, who, at the funeral, said he was doing a tribute on behalf of Browns Hall Primary, where Khalif spent some of his early years as a student.
To his teachers, he was a student with potential, a young man who, like many others, was navigating his way with determination and quiet confidence. To his classmates, he was a friend, a source of laughter, and sometimes a listening ear. To us all, he was a part of us, the family, a piece of the school's living story.
A number of other people did tributes lauding Khalif. In the sermon, young people and others were urged to live a purposeful life.
The only reason why you wake up this morning because you still have a purpose. That is the only reason why you get up this morning. Your purpose is to know God, fear God, and live a life that is pleasing unto Him.
Days after Khalif was slain at Banbury District in Linstead, law enforcers went into the community and carried out a major operation in which they shot and killed one of the murder suspects, 34-year-old Shaniel Sheldon, otherwise called Brookup. The police said they seized an illegal gun and bullets. A second person of interest in relation to the murder was taken into custody, but he was released without charge. Among the people who expressed outrage over the killing of Khalif is Newton Amos, a former senior cop who is now the Jamaica Labour Party's election candidate in the St. Catherine Northwest constituency where the incident happened. He spoke with the Beacon while visiting the victim's girlfriend.
We say, work closely with your police and make sure that our communities are safer.
The police who came to Khalif's funeral in 2 marked vehicles kept a close watch on the proceedings, including the procession shown there on its way from the church to the family plot in Browns Hall. There were many emotional scenes, not least among them one in which a senior citizen who was unable to attend the church service ended up weeping after requesting to see the body while the procession was passing her gate.
We are good on 3 thump here now.
Take time.
At the graveside, Khalif's father stared at him, and then he walked closer towards the casket, stooped, and spoke purportedly to his son.
Go ahead, go ahead. Come on, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. Go ahead.
Rest in peace, my baby.
Khalif's dad, days before the funeral, told the Beacon that his son was not a criminal, adding that he had concerns only about some of the friends that he was keeping.
The police in Lindsay already know my son. I have said, leave friend and company alone. Lindsay police can tell you everything. Ask them to warn him to leave friend and company alone. My pitney and a thief, man a robber.
We now present his body to the ground, dust to dust, earth to ashes.
Khalid's girlfriend shown there putting the best outside, her courage shining through the turbulence that she has been facing since the murder of her lover, as well as her determination not to be silent about it. In addition to fleeing her rented home where she once enjoyed stability, she had been hauled over the coals on social media for dating a 20-year-old who is many years her junior. While admitting that he did not know the girlfriend before his son's murder, Khalif's dad had this to say about concerns regarding the age gap.
He's a big man and he chooses Mr. Kiana. I can't tell him what to do, but him find the real love within that woman, wish the woman give him back the love. And I'm comfortable with that.
Back at the graveside, Khalif's mom, shown there in the foreground, was overcome by grief and had to be restrained, but she eventually got busy assisting masons with the building blocks used to seal the grave. I'm Horace Mills reporting from St. Catherine for the Jamaica Beacon.